All right. Hello, world. Hello, SoftServe. This is AI Talks. These are our exciting stories from the bleeding edge of machine learning and artificial intelligence, brought to you by our experts in data science, business analysts, analysis, research, development, and more. As is tradition, I would like to thank our wonderful crew. This is shout out to our amazing organizers. This is Anastasia Medvedik, Ira Hvazdetska, Tanya Spanchak, Yana Yashinska, our masterful brand designer Vlad Karamov, and our great speakers. Thank you all for making the AI talks possible. And of course, to my SoftServe colleagues, our episodes are available at your fingertips from any spot of the world, just like any other course in the SoftServe University. Again, this is a reminder that the AI talks, as much as many events brought by SoftServe, would not be possible without the armed forces of Ukraine who stand resilient in defending our country. I salute to our colleagues and volunteers to the armed forces who fundraise for equipment, provide means and resources to our servicemen and medical personnel. For me and everyone, it will always be a great honor to say thank you for your service. Please support the armed forces. Please respond to calls for fundraising everywhere, including our team's chats. Please support the families of our fallen heroes. Happy New Year, everyone. It's the year 2026. We're about to kick off our first AI talk of the year, as is tradition, which we are bringing for already 2 years or more than 2 years. We start the first AI talk of the year with the view in the future. And we are talking about the trends. If you go back and look at our 2024 video, you would see that we were talking about the advent of the GenAI when it was just starting, and we were happy to observe the rise of the agentic system in 2025. So I would invite you all to go back and watch those videos from 2 years and 1 year back to see which trends are still relevant and which have shifted towards different directions. Without further ado, let's talk about what's hot in the year 2026. And for that, let me invite our masterful and great speakers, Zarana, who is our almost a resident of the trends in AI. It's Zarana's third talk on the trends in this regard. Dima and Taras, this is your second meeting with us on the trends, and Alexei, welcome you too. And I'm really, really happy to have you all talking here. And you're welcome. Stage is yours. Let's talk about what we have in the future. Who's gonna start?
Yep, I believe that's gonna be as a tradition, Danielle. Thank you so much for, first of all, for the great words you are telling about our defenders and all of the things that we can do for them as a team and all together. And thank you for introducing me and my colleagues who will be talking today about trends in AI and Gen AI in general for 2026. Before we dive deep into 2026, we would like to reflect a little bit on 2025, what were our bets for that year, and then share with you a little bit of the insight, what we observed from customers, partners, industry, as well as technology landscape, and what we will be using as a direction for 2026. This is a little snapshot that we shared with you guys at the beginning of 2025 as the trends that we will be observed. Here you can see a majority of them still related to GenAI, but some of them are really global. What worked this year for us as a team? Trend number one, autonomous and context-aware AI agents. We saw them everywhere. From our day-to-day life, starting from simple assistants, chatbots, and everything related to personal use on our phones and even smartwatches, to assisted AI engineering, even when we talk about our work being accompanied by different types of AI agents. We saw a lot of rises around generative content generation. Probably everyone's seen already Nana Banana and what this thing can do with content generation. If not, try that by yourself. That is the biggest evolution in that area that we already experiment with. AI companions and hyper personalization also was one of the paths, and we continue working in that area, as well as we continue embedding generative AI into all of the industries and related technologies. Robotics is something that grew this year really fast. Physical AI, or everything that is related to operation of robots with different objects, is still a trend which is not only rising but growing a lot. First projects executed with huge customers, including humanoid robots, are already in place. That is our bet that played well this year. Also, we worked a lot with regulations around GenAI solutions, and we'll be talking about that today a little bit more. Not all, but at least the highlight and the snapshot what worked for us. And here I would like to also have Alexei sharing his perspective of working with more than 150 customers in 2025, how these trends impacted what we did for them. Alexei, stage is yours.
Only one thing that 150 projects, but I will say in a while about this. Yeah, to discuss all this, I choose one phrase I would from one book, Blake Crouch recursion. It's something like quantum multiverses. But what is the idea here of this phrase? Time is an illusion, a construct made out of human memory. There is no such thing as the past, the present, or the future. It is all happening now. I think it is the best phrase, in my opinion, that describes what is happening with AI, because we are already not thinking whether we need to implement AI, whether AI should be implemented, whether AI will bring value. It is the thing that is already on the market, and we need to stop to discuss why or whether it is needed, but we need just to do. Act, react, and all this to be done. So therefore, I think that it is the best phrase to describe our 2025. In my opinion, it is the year of openness in AI. Let's go to the next slide, and I would like to share some metrics when we are talking about our trends, our vision on GenAI topic. It is covered by a lot of stuff that we are doing in SoftServe. For example, previous year we delivered more than 150 projects. Only in GenAI. So we are not talking currently about classical machine learning or artificial intelligence in a less simplified way than generative AI. And we did this for 80 clients. So it means that we worked with 80 different clients with different stories, with different capabilities, expectations, and still we see some patterns that we will share with you today. What is the most important that actually one of the biggest trends at the end of 2024, and Zoriana, that you mentioned about agentic autonomous system, they're already on the market and they're showing 30-70% of the improvements. The range is wide for sure, because we will not talk today about this. Maybe we will talk about this on the next AI talks, but in SoftServe, we are dividing 4 levels of maturity for any agentic system. It means that if you will reach one first level, you can already expect like 30%, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. And to get the whole 70 or above, you need to go to the level of maturity 4. It is not so easy to do this so quickly. So therefore, we are still limited with the capabilities and with the growing of the technology, everything changing very quickly. For example, I think everyone knows that 7 months is double of maturity for any GenAI capabilities at the moment. And each 3 months, actually, we are getting some new capabilities that we need to identify and understand how to deliver to our clients. Therefore, next year, maybe we will update already these numbers. But at the moment, I would say 30-70% is what we can expect using agentic AI. 2025 published white papers by SoftServe experts. It is not only something that you can read only on our site, but also something that you can read in scientific papers and for even bigger top conferences, and more than 15 GenAI solutions that we are monetizing with our clients. And last but not the least, that 2025, we as a company got NVIDIA Service Delivery Partner of the Year. And it's due to Omniverse and GenAI domains and how them combine. So let's go to the next slide, because I want to talk about 5 top categories that we see during this year. Previous year, I think that we were more concentrated on the first 3 of them. they're losing their share. But assistance, document processing, and AI search is still on the market. It's starting to be already not experimentation, but products. You can see that top 3 assistance is industry, specific industry to support you with some specific task. Also compliance. Any company needs compliance, and assistants are working very well to check whether it is working, whether you should do this or not should do this, and support assistance. What it means that assistant is still in top categories that GenAI we are delivering in GenAI, but at the same time they stop to be classical chatbots. It is not something that can be delivered 5 years ago or 3 years ago. It's already mostly multi-agentic, maybe sometimes less multi-agentic systems, but there are a lot already agents. For example, one of solutions that we delivered, it included like 40 agents behind. So it means that you have separately 40 agents that should communicate inside this specific assistant. In this case, assistant is just a good user experience channel that you can work with. Another category that's still keeping in the trend is document processing. I would sometimes say that it's more already data pipelines because you have like 5 petabytes or 500 petabytes of the documents that you need to process. And what you're processing there, you're collecting metadata in an automatic way. You are doing some mapping between some different folders or some different contracts or classification of the documents to collect all this information. Last and not least is about data governance support of the process to make them as transparent as possible, because it's still expensive to do the whole data governance manually, and GenAI is supporting with this. AI search is moved from the structured documents, classical search, only text, to unstructured video and images or very complex documents. Now maturity is that you should not worry at all what is in this document. Table, not table, what language, search can be multilingual, any tables, any information can be collected, just we need to be ready to parse this information. And whatever solutions were created like 2 years ago in the AI search about tables, Excels, they started to be already expected like deep searching. You need starting to be able to give some insights, not just please give me some numbers from these documents or where it is this information already. Can you analyze 3 documents and provide to me some statistics or some trends? For example, can you analyze report for 2024, 2025, and what is in information there? So we're already talking about deep search, not just plain search. Please find me some numbers. And 2, it's not like a trend, but it started, share of these projects are growing and growing because they're starting to bring the value. We are calling this hybrid solutions. It can be simplified to ML agents. It means that GenAI is combining with classical machine learning. It is about demand, predictive analytics, and truth analyzers, maps, and all this stuff, and agentic engineering. For agentic engineering, by the way, code development is the not biggest one from the perspective of the projects or solutions. Everyone can take Copilot and do several agents on their own and use. But most of people, they need support with business and code analysis. This can be built in more complex solutions, and therefore there are much more requests. And for sure, QA and refinement agents. One of a bottleneck for agentic engineering is from acceptance, therefore refinement needs to be applied. So if we want to summarize this on the next slide, you can see we can just think about 3 phrases around this here. No experimentation, but operational autonomy. A lot of agents that should collaborate, communicate, transfer information, and deliver the result with as low as possible human interaction. But still, human interaction is critically important. We still cannot allow human only to work through everything in automatic way. We have still hallucinations. Maybe 1-2%, but it's still there. It is not always 100% precision. You still can miss something. You still need something to validate to be sure that everything works fine. And do we need to risk, or we need just to validate in 1 second or 10 seconds and proceed? Still, we can improve the time. And because all such solutions start to reach already in one or another way to production or large-scale deployments, they bring the value from the perspective of the creativity, accelerated adoption, some production improvements, but they opened a new niche of the challenges. especially in governance, cost, and workforce readiness. Let's look into breakthroughs for the previous year. What approved? Enterprise adoption and governance. There are a lot of solutions that can improve this. It is going on the scale. Every enterprise has a lot of tools. We need to be, applicable to know what we are doing in each of these tools. Adoption started to be mainstream. No questions, as I mentioned, whether we need to adopt. Where clients just adopting, no discussion. Agentic AI in production, getting the value, business value. How much is another story, but it's in production and it is generating business value. Creative expansion through AI. So we should not worry about errors, typos when we are doing. We can ask to write emails. We can speed up some processes. And the topic about sustainability and energy started to be more, on the top of the discussions, and new breakthroughs actually in energy. I would like to say energy generation. Yes, that we need to have much more energy. We need to support more data centers from the perspective of the energy for all this computation for AI, and therefore actually the whole part of the business it is restarted. But unfortunately, with breakthroughs, we got a lot of challenges. And just to summarize them, low AI literacy. There are no 100% guarantees that GenAI will be truthful. There are still a risk, maybe small, but we need to expect, we need to double check, validate. It is happening. Data privacy and security risk happening. We cannot skip this. We didn't do this. Ownership cost, even business value is coming, we still paying a lot for consumption and for GenAI. And it is, we need to be sure that any business value is covered by this stuff. Overpromised autonomy. There are nothing like full autonomy at the moment. Close to full, maybe 80%, maybe. But you always need to think what is the best balance. What is your trade-off? How much autonomy you need to get the max business value. To find this dot is actually the work for AI evangelists, AI consultants, and all the people who knows how AI is working and how to get the best business value. And last one, but not the least one, is actually workforce readiness to this. People need to be educated. One new trend that we see with GenAI is that actually it is supporting a lot of the juniors, or not only, workers in the factory as a robots were, but it is supporting a lot of people in the offices, sitting on the place with manual work. So cognitive function started to be quicker, let's say, with GenAI, but there is a risk of manipulation, of mistakes that will be missed. So GenAI is here. We are doing a lot, but we need to keep our control of the risk. And therefore, Taras and Dmitro will talk a bit more what will be the trends for the next years and how we will be able to keep this whole risk and challenges.
Thank you so much, Alexei. Maybe I will just pick it up to highlight some of the trends that we observe along our customers, and then highlight our top bets for 2026, then pass over to guys to guide us through details of each and every one. If we go to the next slide and think about different types of customers that we work with, we see three major trends among them. Customers can be grouped into three areas, and all of them are thinking about so-called agentification for their products and services, agent automation, as we call it like that, and the agent engineering. So the first cohort of customers are utilizing agents and generative AI in specific to enhance their products with some of the features that may be executed in the form of the complex task automation by those agents. So this is the first group that we observe. The second one are the customers that want to use agents for automation of some of their workflows, for decision makings or making orchestration of complex systems, and then taking the best out of there. And the third cohort is the type of the customers that would like to use agentic engineering alongwise with their classical teams that deliver software either to them or to their customers as part of their new business operation models. If to highlight us as the company, we are also shifting from traditional software development to software development that is now being assisted by agents in scope of mixed teams that are delivering for the customers. Having said that, if we move to the next slide, we would like to highlight at least 10 of the trends that we observe for 2026 with focus only on AI and GenAI here, and some of the key bets that we are making. First of all, autonomous agentic engineering. As I mentioned, as a company shifting from classical software development to AI-assisted software development or agentic engineering, we are looking into the way to embed agents as autonomous systems that can work seamlessly together with the teams. Second thing is swarm intelligence and meta agents. These are groups of agents that learn from each other, from each other's mistakes, can be orchestrated as the entire system and provide business value for the customer without any human being involved into the orchestration part. And the third one probably that we will be looking for is still a topic related to physical AI and world models. As I mentioned, lots and lots of difficult types of data are becoming sources for the models training and then usage of those models to solve different tasks, especially when it comes to reflection of physical characteristics of real objects in a virtual world. Think here about either robot operations or digital twins that will be powered by GenAI models that are being trained on synthetic data as such. So these are our top bets, as I could say, for the next year. Of course, we will be investing a lot into governance of the models, security, and different responsible AI topics. But let me pass over probably to Taras and Dmitro to share a bit more what we've already done as a team and a company in 2025 to be ahead of the trends for 2026 and beyond and support our clients already with something that is on the edge. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Zoriana. Let's continue. Okay, trend number one, agentic engineering. Who actually surprised? Maybe nobody. In 2026, code generation shift from copilot suggestion to agents that can deliver working code changes end-to-end, create, plan, implement, test, or open PR. And biggest change is workflow level automation for now. Agents will generate not only code, but also other artifacts to shorten the full delivery cycle. We expect that one pizza teams to run faster with Prometheus agent suite support. A small team can ship like a larger organization with delegating routine engineering tasks to specialized coding agents. Also, human ops become critical. Humans move to setting goals, defining constraints, reviewing risk, and approving releases, while agents execute the heavy lifting. And to adjust safety, we standardize how CodeGen agent work. It's about reusable workflows, clear quality gates, and governance for traceability and compliance. And in practice, we will improve these capabilities as service. Our agent-driven SDLC automation, multi-agent coding squads, and real-time support that learns from telemetry and feedback to continuous improve generated code quality. Let's move to Ross. Yep. Actually, where we started, it's about vibe coding maybe a year ago. Now it's about agentic engineering, and the impact is very different. Vibe coding boosts one developer. It's great for quick prototypes, small applications, some experiments. But on bigger products, vibe coding struggles. Large code base need architecture, testing, and coordination. The key is repeatability. We can see that agent did to produce the steps and enforce quality gates and coding standards. Why actually human ops matters? Human should set clear goals, constraints, review risk, approve releases. And when we combine together human plus agent, we actually can be successful for agentic engineering. And one more example, next one. Yep. Actually, you pretty know this diagram. I want today to say very limited description for this slide. We have already started moving from single user vibe coding to human agent cooperation. And we defined this architecture view, where agents support the team across planning, coding, testing, and documentation. And next one, where actually we are now, where actually Prometheus now. We are now building an agent landing zone, a secure, scalable environment where agent can run with approved templates, access control, and enterprise deployment standards. In parallel, we are putting agent quality first, standard evaluation, testing, and governance, so agents produce reliable outputs before we scale adoption. And also, Neo platform can orchestrate end-to-end workflows with the right templates, gateways, and enterprise deployment standards. I'm happy to have critical services COE here into the loop, and I actually happy with our collaboration to prepare a cloud landing on Azure. Also, CISO, IT, InfoSec departments cooperate with us to make happen MCP whitelisting. We support MCP gateway and also adoption of any results, how we actually can deliver for our teammates in terms of MCP usage and whitelist and cursor, or for ChatGPT Enterprise. And I appreciate help. I have a lot of discussion regarding reusability, etc. Today I discussed it with Solution CE, some reusability of our MCP template for client purposes. And actually this is huge step from vibe coding, human support by agents, to some enterprise scale in terms of agentic engineering. And to showcase one more example, next one, I want to show for you our latest results in terms of polymorphic UI. Actually, what is polymorphic UI? About some actually interface, it's not pre-designed screens. Polymorphic UI is assembled in real time based on user intent, and this proves agentic engineering. It's not about generating code, it can generate experiences, adapting the UI to situation and the user's goal. The flow is simple. Intent engine understands the need, UI agent decides the structure and render it, returns into React HTML components, and this is a repeatable workflow. We can scale it like engineering, reusable components, clear schemes, predictable steps across many products. And feedback loop is key here. We learn from real usage patterns and continuously improve future UI generation, not just one-off demos. And so the message for 2026 is agentic engineering scales across the whole product life cycle, including UX, requirements, operation, and not only code generation, as long as we treat quality, context, and governance as the first requirements. And now, next one. Let's show a short video how actually polymorphic UI works in practice, how the agents read the user intent, assembles the UI in real time, and improves through the feedback loop. Let's start this video. It's about some addition to our BA agent to refine Jira task epics, and let's spend a couple of minutes and check how actually it works.
Today, we're introducing a polymorphic approach to building user interfaces. For years, interfaces have been built as one-size-fits-all solutions, becoming harder to scale as complexity grows. Polymorphic UI introduces a different model, interfaces that adapt in real time to user context and intent. This is BA Agent, an AI assistant that adapts to conversation context and visualizes it directly on the dashboard. The session starts on a welcome screen offering two interaction modes, direct chat and suggestions. Let's start by using suggestions to display all available epics. From here, we move on to a single epic, personalized dashboard widgets to address the new requirements. The full epic context is loaded, and an update draft is generated, giving us the option to review, edit, or just accept the proposed changes. Let's confirm them. Since this epic has child stories, they are automatically added to the dashboard. An update draft is proposed to align them with the changes made to the parent epic. Let's review the draft and accept the updates. Next, we move into the merge flow, and the dashboard focuses on the selected stories, displaying them in small-sized widgets. To proceed with the merge, a draft is proposed. Let's confirm it. After the merge, the widget size automatically adapts to reflect the updated content. The next step focuses on updating the story description via the chat. BA Agent evaluates the current content and proposes improvements for review. Let's review them and confirm the update. The widget automatically resizes based on the amount of content. To further refine the description, let's move to the Notes feature. Notes make it easy to capture and store information for later use. Just select relevant parts of the content and save them as notes on the dashboard. The note can then be applied to update the corresponding ticket. Next, let's ask BA Agent to suggest a set of rules to further improve the ticket. From these suggestions, let's select and save multiple notes. Each note dynamically adjusts its size based on the amount of stored information, following the same adaptive sizing behavior used for widgets. Once saved, let's apply all selected notes to the story to enhance its content. Based on the selected notes, BA Agent proposes an updated draft that can be reviewed and accepted when ready. This walkthrough demonstrates how a polymorphic dashboard adapts to different tasks in practice, designed to scale naturally with the workflow.
Yep, and to finalize my thoughts regarding the fast trend, this application was fully generated by agent with oversee by intelligence engineers with some support from front-end and back-end developers to finalize some stuff in terms of quality and fix minor issue less than 5-10% of general work. And actually, agentic engineering in here, we are on the top of this trend. We have clear strategy. And stay tuned. We are with you on this field. Taras, over to you.
Thank you, Dima. Let's continue with the next. Two trends that are mega important in nowadays world. So it's meta agents and swarm intelligence. And what it is, 3 years ago, approximately, we started with the GenAI, where we have just foundational model that was able to generate content of different modalities for different purposes. It was able to answer questions, generic one on top of the knowledge that model was trained on. After the adoption started, we figure out that we can use context-aware models, so we can use RAG type of system, we can do search, and can enhance foundational model with much bigger and much valuable information that allow us to build real business workflows. This year, it was a year when all the GenAI work that we were doing was shifted to concept of agents. New models appear that allowed us to do reasoning type of task, to think, not just respond, and that allows to build much complex, much more autonomous systems. Not completely autonomous, but still with some autonomous level. Today, and within probably the last half of the 2025 and the next year, everything is moved to meta agents and swarm agents. It's not just because of and it's mainly because of people wanted to make the system even more automated, even more advanced, and allow them to do a much more wider variety of problems, to solve much more wider variety of tasks. So what is the difference between meta agents and swarm intelligence? Meta agents, it's like when we have a system that has one agent that basically coordinates and orchestrates the work of all other agents. Each individual agent is responsible for some kind of problem, some kind of task, and we have one orchestrator that actually responsible for syncing, for building the way how agents would execute some tasks, and then collect the feedbacks from the individual agents and return back the response. Swarm intelligence is a little bit different concept. It's when we do not have here only one centric agent. We have some specialized agents work with each other, and in that way they can produce also pretty valuable results. In some of the research shows that this approach even allows us to provide much more reliable, much more proven results because of the multiple agents can come up with similar conclusions. But of course, it has its own pros and cons. So let's a few more things about meta agents. Yes, meta agents, as I already mentioned, it's about agent that can think, and the main goal for this agent is to think and reasons about other agents' tasks, their roles, and what those outputs are expected. There's like a few differences between like AI agent assist and meta agent, but what is the most important is that within the adaptation, when we talk about individual AI agent, we can only do like and solve one problem. With the meta agent, we have pretty high level adaptation because we can always coordinate the work of multiple agents. We can combine their results. We can introduce new agents, and that would increase the variety of problems that we can solve. And that's the most important aspect that came up to the idea of what I will present in the next few slides. So what it means, like what this transmits actually for the companies like SoftServe or any other service companies. First of all, it's about possibilities. Yes, we can think about meta agents, about orchestration as an IP or as some kind of something that we can create. That like no way we can create individual LLM model. Yes, we can train some model from scratch, but what we can work on of how we will use the results of this model to provide the real business values, and that's open a lot of opportunities. Second one, it's like with the meta agents and complicated workflows that they allowed us to build. It opened a wide range of use cases of business challenges that we can solve. And now we can propose to our clients much more advanced solutions and and like commit on much higher level of accuracies. Next one, about swarm intelligence. So here, as I mentioned, the difference is a little bit in the way how agents actually work with each other. So we do not have one top level agent. Each agent is with some predefined rules. It's actually coordinates with each other. So basically, you can imagine that like agent knows that if it's problem about the data, it can go to the agent one. It's a problem about the like data in the internet, it can go to the agent two. And in that way, they coordinate, work with each other. The similar agents can solve identical problems. But at the end, we come up with also one solution. It's a great concept, and it allows, as I said, like to deal a lot with the scalability, with the potential hallucination, with the reliability of the solution. But of course, there's some also disadvantages like computational cost, or sometimes recent research came up with some cases when we have pretty unpredictable behavior. Swarm intelligence also open a lot of new opportunities for us. We can build much more reliable and trusted models. Swarm intelligence is not only the research now, it's just kick off, it started. So it's the area that everyone can spend some time research and maybe propose something new. One of the solutions we built this year, like we call it a domain-specific solution that's called Energy Intelligence Agentic Toolkit. It's a great example of meta agent orchestration. The solution was designed for energy, oil and gas companies, and these companies usually have pretty similar problems, and all these problems come from the data. A lot of data of different nature, a lot of unstructured data, and also different complexity, starting from some just scanned PDF, ending up with very complicated schemas. To make it work with such a data, a lot of complicated workflows needed to be built. I remember like a few years ago, we worked on a platform to do such data analysis like with the classical approaches, and we spent years on building such. Now with the GenAI, we have much better tools, and we can come up with a similar, or even like not similar, better performance, much better performance, much easier way. But what we need to do to solve such a problems, we will not be able to do it with just one GenAI pipeline. Yes, we need to have different pipelines, different models, or different agents for different type of data, for different type of problems. And that's actually what we introduce here. We have agent that is able to extract structured data, like from the tables, databases, and generate analysis on top of it. We build the agent that is able to analyze unstructured data and combine it with the structured information and do very nice visualizations. We have agents that are able to like process your images and identify corrosions or some visual defects. And everything is orchestrated with the one. So users do not need to go to the different workflows, to the different components to do something. They can call everything through the one interface, and the meta agent will select and decide what to use to solve the problem. I will very quickly show the video. Just scrolling through it to give you the example of how it may work. First, you can imagine that user is requesting the requesting the information about what data actually is available, and can we get the information in individual well. Well, it's actually the place when there's a drilling and where the oil is pumped. Yes. So what agent decided to do? Meta agent decided to call ML agent to run analysis and select the right data, to generate this visualization, to do analysis cross wells, provide some statistics, some patterns, and so on, and everything is generated with the GenAI, so like no pre-hard-coded tools. Basically, concept of ML agents is pretty spread now. It's available in Copilot, it's available in like in different tools, in OpenAI tools. Here we just build it in the little bit custom way, so we can completely control the way the code is generated and the analysis is performed. The second example, it's let's say user want to come up with information about some well location and whether there's some like pipes nearby. Yes. So in this case, LM decided to go to the Insight engine, extract the data from the PDF. It noticed that within this PDF we have a lot of unstructured content, visuals, and schematics. So it parsed it through the multimodal capabilities and come up. Oops, I'm really sorry. Yes, and come up with the conclusions. And all the analysis. And one more example we have here, it's about what I mentioned, let's say corrosion agent. Yes, user can just upload the image and ask, perform the analysis of the surface and whether we have any evidence of corrosion and what is the level of those. LM decided to call corrosion agent. It transforms the request to some API request. It ran a machine learning model that was trained to detect corrosion, get back the results from the model and analyze everything, and also provides a report and all of the analysis. So that's one of the example of how meta agents can be used. Let's go next. This year, we have worked a lot on individual solutions. Actually, it's pretty obvious, and we understood this like 2 years ago, that it's not possible to always to do the like developments from scratch in GenAI world, because everything is moving very fast. Yes, if like a year ago we may had a project for the rack implementation for 1-2 months, now clients expect that we will do the same like in like 1-2 weeks or even less. So what we did, we decided that we will develop different accelerators that will help us to speed up some of the work with the different use cases. And that's the example of a few of them. Yes, multimodal insight engine, talk to database visualization, machine learning agents. We have used it very efficiently this year. We have deployed it to multiple clients, but we come up with some challenges. And the challenges are around, first of all, it's like time to market. Yes, each time like clients want to have a different UI. Not all the clients need, for example, like chatbot interface. Yes, some of them they just need like some dashboards with one field prompt. Different architectures, different. Always we need to customize it. And what we understood that we need to come up with the approach that will be able very easily to deploy the same solution for different clients with minimum efforts by maximizing the potential of such a solution. And we come up with the concept of agents for everything, where with the MCP concept and dynamic UI, we built the tool that allowed that very easily to plug in any agents that we have. to customize UI with a simple human prompt. So if clients want to have a chatbot, we can have a chatbot. If clients want to have a different, like as Dima showed before, different widgets, we can have widgets. If we are just interested in the table and the visuals, we can just have this and that. Yes, and come up with a concept that like new agent that we will build, we will just plug in, and with the advanced meta agent, we'll be able to orchestrate and control everything. That's one more example of how meta agents concept was used and is using now, and provide real value and like really increase our capabilities to deliver better things for less money and for less time. Let's go to one more trend that I want to discuss. It's about FinOps and cost, and it's pretty well correlated with what I just have mentioned, because all the agentic orchestration stuff, all the meta agents, swarm intelligence, it costs a few times higher level of consumption in terms of tokens. Like a few times, it can be even 5 or 10 times, and that's of course costs bigger checks that users need to pay, and of course then there are bigger expectations to the values that such solution will bring. So one of the trends that pretty obvious and that will arrive this year is how to save money. Yes, now how we can optimize orchestration of workflows, how we can to do so we need to have a proper observation and logging mechanism being implemented to clearly understand what caused the biggest usage. And everything in that area. So FinOps and optimization of LLMs in terms of the costs, like of LLMs used in terms of cost, it would be one of the hot topics this year. Dima, let's very quickly go through the few last one.
Let's briefly discuss a couple of the restaurants. And sovereign AI with small language models and physical AI with world models are connected. And the shift is from one big cloud model to many smaller specialized models that can run closer to the data, faster, cheaper, and with more control. Previous year, we started discussion about hybrid solutions, and in the LLM-centric patterns, we see higher latency and more hallucination, and it's weak when decision must be made in the physical world. In the new patterns, LLMs are more deterministic and context-aware, and they can embed it locally. This is critical for regulated and safety-sensitive environments. Previous year was about syncing mode in LLMs. Now we can easy to translate a lot of tasks to SLMs, and world models at a second layer. They predict what will happen next and let us simulate outcomes before we act, which reduces risk and avoids real-world trial and error. Robotics, autonomous driving, some financial stuff, retail, etc., actually into the loop of world models. And for us, the business message is control and reliability. Sovereign setups for ownership and compliance, SLMs for high precision tasks, and world models approaches for fast ground decision making in operations and physical systems. And next one slide. Yep. Thank you, Taras. As AI becomes more autonomous and multi-agent, traditional quality and security reviews do not scale. Checking only before release is not enough. And agent ops, actually autonomous quality system assurance, this is hot topic, and why agent ops is emerging. It's the execution layers that enforce security, responsibility, quality, and cost limits in real time. We are moving from static governance, manual compliance, periodic reviews, basic logins to runtime governance with continuous validation. In agent ops, agents are monitored, tested, constrained while they run with automated anomaly detection and clear thresholds. This changes the human role. People stop doing every step, control every step, and instead focus on governance, setting rules, approving exceptions, and intervening only when alerts fine. And for us, agent ops becomes, and governance across agents becomes, a core platform capability. One control plane where security, quality, cost, and ethics come together, so we can scale autonomous system without losing trust or predictability. And I am happy with this trend because we are not talking about some LLM request. We are not talking about a separate chatbot, a couple of agents, a simple multi-agent system. We are start talking about process, about governance, about operationalization, as you see on example of Prometheus agent suite, and we are on the right track. Let's support this move and make it happen. Zoriana, over to you.
Thank you, Dima. Guys, just one more time to highlight what will be our bets for 2026. Thank you for sharing all of the details, Taras, and Dima and Losha for sharing 2025. Please stay with us and stay tuned for the updates around all of these trends. Again, we will be focusing the most on autonomous agents and engineering, swarm intelligence, meta agents. We'll be focusing on financial operations and cost governance to make solutions even more affordable for the clients. And some new researches will emerge from physical AI and world models. Thank you for being with us today, but we have 5 more minutes for your questions. If anyone wants to provide some, please do. You already tried to respond to majority together with the team in the chat, but if at least something is left, please let us know. I don't know, Daniel, maybe you are monitoring that. Please share if anything is not being responded yet.
Thank you, Zoriana. Thank you, everyone. I am monitoring the live chat again. I would like to invite all your questions and comments into the chat box below in the Zoom, as you can see. Let me read a few questions from our audience to our speakers. The question from Oksana: if you have a catalog space of use cases to get familiar. I think we do have a catalog of these use cases. Please reach out to Alexei or Dmitrov for the link to the our stack. And if these presentation slides can be available for download, yes, our presentations will be shared along with the recording. Just hang tight and please watch out for the emails that come later. Serhi is asking how to practice with your solution. Can we get the code base to implement in open tech projects, for example, and how to be aligned with the development roadmap and to not waste time with not so relevant solutions that are already in our pocket of development?
Yeah,
Who would like to?
I can ask on this question. Great point. Could you reach to me in direct and let's discuss some possibility of reusing? I'm not sure about whole umbrella of our AP solution, but for sure we can share best practices, some guidelines, etc. with you and support with your projects as well. Yeah, please reach out to me.
Thank you, Dima. Thank you, Serhi, for your question. Vitaly is also asking about the video of the recording. It will be shared with you afterwards. Stay tuned. Serhi is asking if there is a formal descriptions of the intelligence engineer, like a profile in our course. Is there some kind of learning path for it?
There is created a specific roadmap for the career development around intelligence engineers. And to be more precise, this year, this role will evolve into 2 more: intelligence architect and intelligence consultant, or as we call them, human ops engineers, will be available this year with all the details about the specific vacancy. You can reach out to Ira Kovalchuk to get details internally from SoftServe, or externally. I believe we can have some publishing at our website and the career section as well.
I like the name of it, human ops engineer, like a surgeon or someone.
Oh, yeah.
Anton is asking, Sergey, thank you for your question. Anton is asking, oh yeah, it's commenting, AI agent era is here. It looks like everyone is aligned with the Dima. Any news about the great SoftServe quality control agent? How many pipelines can they orchestrate? How many test cases can they consume? And what kind of autonomous work can they do? Zorana, you already answered this in the chat, but maybe you could also tell us again what the idea is.
Yeah, basically the idea is, well, if to summarize all of that, SoftServe is currently working on the agentic suite where we do have lots of different agents that work together as teams for software development and not only, also for software modernization. QA agent is one of them as well. We do have BA agent, coding agent, architects, and others who operate as part of the teams performing delivery of the projects to our clients. I cannot actually share the details around the performance of the specific agent as these are covered by NDAs with our customers, but there are some public case studies coming around these topics that you guys will be able to read in a matter of months or a couple of weeks, I believe. So please stay tuned for that.
Thank you, Zorana. Thank you, Anton, for your question. Lubomir is asking to provide some real-life cases where swarm intelligence is being used. Alexei, you have already answered that in the chat box, but maybe you can also provide some extra details.
Yeah, swarm, let's be frank, it is still a concept that is developed. It is already something that is here because all agents need to be communicated. And how they will be communicated on their own or in less dynamic or more dynamic way, it's already the question only of autonomy of the swarm. It's, again, as we discussed today, everything is already happening. It's the question only how we are calling or how we are developing this. Therefore, from based on our practices, everything already starting to be swarm. We just need to understand how to handle this in the best way and more optimal way. Taras?
Yeah, I can give a very quick example. Imagine that like in the demos that I showed for energy agents, yes, where we have the agent that is responsible for visualization, it needs to visualize the performance of each of the well, like aligned on the map based on well coordinates. And it figure out that like no coordinates for well in the data. So it may come to the other agent that can do a search in the PDFs and get the coordinates from there. That would be like a simple example, like of how Swarm will perform. Yes, will not do everything. Like the same agent will do in the build visualization, will just get something from other agents. But yeah, it's still like pretty new concept, and like I would not say that it's completely second step after meta agents. Probably a lot of system would be enough to have like some one meta agents, but it's something new that appears and that like we start experimenting and the industry starts experimenting with.
Good. Thank you, Alexei, and Taras, for your answer. And Lubomir, thank you for your question. Victor is asking if we can use these solutions and best practices for our own internal development. I think absolutely yes.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, Victor, please reach out to Dmytro Zikarich or myself or anyone in the team, and we could think of something for you. Thank you. Bogdan is asking about the accuracy percent of this toolkit. I think that had to do with Taras's presentation.
Yeah, I saw that
Oh,
Alexei already answered, but if you talk about energy agentic toolkit, so it depends on the request, yes, and it's pretty. I would not say that it's pretty like objective things to just give some number. We have agents that perform, let's say, like insight engine agents that perform with 98, 99% accuracy in terms of multimodal requests. We have ML agents that perform on the level of like 90, 95% based on the user request. Yeah. So that's on overall, we can say that's like from 90 up to 100, but like, of course, you may just come up with 10 random questions. It will not work due to complex structure of these prompts. But yeah, now the good solution can be positioned if it has at least like 90 plus accuracy. So it probably is standard for the industry.
Taras, thank you for your answer, and Bogdan, thank you for your question. Stanislav has asked two questions here. Why are we still hiring? It's just the demo is so great. Alexei has answered quite well that the maturity is not yet there. And the next question was, Is your opinion on how close we are to AGI? Folks, your call.
Maybe
Not close.
next meeting. Next our trends or one after we will discuss this one.
In 2-3 weeks, guys.
Already delivered,
Yes.
and Skynet did everything. Yeah, finished
Yeah.
everything. Sorry.
We are out of time. We have one question without comments from our side. It's about Sergey, and it is some statistic around your agentic AI solutions, what reflect performance boost versus infrastructure costs, implementation maintenance. I can answer it in terms of agentic engineering and Prometheus agent suite. In general, we expect at least 30% of improvements in terms of timeline, cost to deliver results to the and value to the client. In terms of infrastructure, less than one FTE L2 rate, something like that, and it doesn't impact a lot cost of projects. But in more optimistic scenarios, we can achieve more than 30, up to 60, and we have examples, and this is great achievement. But sometimes it happens. Yep, Daniel.
Yeah, I think one last question from Stanislav. Are Swarm intelligent agents built on local-based LLM, or they're using the established models? I think Alexei already answered that these are they're using cloud LLMs. But if you have any other information, yeah, please.
What is the difference? Cloud-based, local ones, something
In
different?
terms of performance,
It's about LLMs in general, yep. Sometimes open source provides the same. In some cases, can be higher than. It depending, I don't know, on months, day, releases, etc. stuff. And in general, we can handle approximately everything, maybe without cutting edge examples, but in general, we can apply cloud-based models and open source as well.
excellent. Dima, thank you very much. Alexei, Dima, Zarana, Taras, you're wonderful. I am so happy to have you on our AI talks year after year. We are doing great in terms of inspiring people in looking forward to the development of the intelligent algorithms and using them for our benefit as much as possible. I would like to thank our audience as well for staying with us for these years and coming here to kick off the 2026. Please stay tuned and stay. Of course, check out for our next sessions of AI Talks. I will see you in the future. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your day.